Many thanks for your company. Now, scores of unauthorized structures around the newly constructed Kwame Nkrumah Interchange were this morning demolished by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly in a bid to decongest the area. Public Relations Officer of the Assembly, Numo Blafo, spoke to Maxwell Agbagwa during this morning's exercise.
It's an operation to rid the city of congestion, and the AMA task force are leaving no stone unturned in carrying out this exercise. Here at the Circle Interchange area, they are destroying all makeshift structures on the pedestrian walkway. This fire in the background that you can see was started by the task force, and what is happening is that they are dumping all the makeshift structures into this fire. It doesn't sound
Well, I think somewhere in March we issued a statement informing all people selling on the pavements and then along the roads and our footbridges that they should relocate because these spaces are not meant for their activities. About a fortnight later, we issued a reminder. Since then, our information van has been coming around. In fact, individually, we have also been coming around to inform them that definitely we will come. So they should remove or they should relocate from these areas. But it seems they were recalcitrant, as we all know. So this morning, we have started. And this exercise that we are undertaking is not just for Circle area. We're looking at all the areas that are being encroached upon by traders, somewhere like Kaneshi, the CBD. We're looking at Abeka La Paz. In fact, everywhere within the metropolis that we have this kind of nuisance, we're going to remove them.
So are you just looking at congestion on the pedestrian walkway, or you are looking at other parts of the market as well?
Well, the markets are meant for trading activities, and therefore for the markets, we are not saying we're going to move people out of the market. We want them rather to go into the markets. That's what we want them to do.
There are some who are accusing you of not doing this exercise with a human face. In fact, you witnessed it yourself, some of the sellers raining insults and curses on us. Are you doing this with a human face? Did you give them enough notice?
If you recall, since March, we have issued statement after statement, giving you reminders, coming here individually to speak with you. What again? Which human face again do you want us to use? And you see, if you ask some of the reporters that were here, at other places, they themselves were removing their things because they knew that since we have informed them, definitely we will remove them. You understand? So they themselves were, it is only just this place that they are trying to be stubborn, but then that will not deter us from doing what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so thank you very much, Numo Blafo, for speaking to us. Okay, so you just heard Numo Blafo. He's a public relations officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Now, I want my cameraman to show you what is happening. I mean, if you see scores of people gathered along the side of the road, they are not really doing anything. A lot of them are protesting what is happening here. From the AMA task force are destroying these makeshift structures, and they put them onto this truck and then they carry them to a different location. They say that previous years, what happens is that usually when they destroy the structures, these sellers come back, fix them, and then do business with them. So
I don't feel good because some of us, they give the land for us, so we should sit the back of the land. But some of us, they crossed the line. I think because of that, they clear all of us from the road. So it's not good for us. But now, we don't have any job in Ghana here now. Even the government promised us more job will come, but somebody like me don't have any job. Only just I stand here to sell my things and get something for my family. But now, everything lost. Every day, not give any chance to take even your goods or your table from the road. But it's very bad for us. It's very bad.
So what did you lose in the process?
I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything. But now, we are all hanging. We are all frustrated here. You see people are running here. Even out of the payment, they cross the payment and they clear everything out. It's bad for us. Even you are telling us for payment, but here is not a payment. You cross the payment and you enter some station and clear everything from the station. What do you want to tell us? Even president should be careful. 4 years is an corner. 4 years is an corner. The same thing happened to Okova. The same thing will happen to Akufo-Addo. You should be careful. You should be careful. If you think about the people in the nation, don't do that.
The Electricity Company of Ghana says it has restored power to about 80% of consumers nationwide following yesterday's blackout. Public Relations Officer of the company, William Boateng, disclosed this in an interview with me a couple of hours ago.
We also have our own challenge, amongst concerns. You know, when the rain sets in like that, and we have those storms that affect the network. So yes, we have some challenges in the system. We are working assiduously. Our engineers are on the ground. We are patrolling the line. We have to trim the trees, and also look at the rope feeders, the ones that are the feeders that are just telling. We have to patrol all the lines. So we are working on this. Historically, when the rain sets in, we go through these challenges, but I'm certain that will normalize it. We are on the ground. I agree with you. You have to look at the robustness of the feeders. Some feeders are stronger than others. I must admit. You know, it depends also on the planning. You know, we have a lot of planning deficit within some of the regional capital. And in some areas, the planning has an effect on the reliability of our supply. Those are the areas we are on now. I told you about the further just on the ground. We've even gone further to ask for some contractors to assist us to patrol that weak feeder. So it's true, some areas goes off more frequently than others, or the system is more stable at some places than others. We also know that we are doing some injection. What it means that we are adding some transformers in certain areas, communities where the transformer can carry the entire load of that area. We're also working on that. So in some areas, you realize that they have been going off frequently because the transformer can't hold the entire load. But we are adding additional load. So we are injecting that system, and very soon it will normalize. We have few areas like that at Delta, part of Legon areas. We are looking at those areas. Also at the car and so on. We have enough generation. I can assure you we have that. These are one-off incidents. From precaution. You know, we normally don't go off like this. It has nothing to do with load shedding.
Okay.
It has everything to do with an unfortunate thing. Yes, I can assure you that going forward, we see more reliability. Immediately, we complete a lot of these small projects within the communities that have to do with the distribution network. I'm certain that you see more reliability.
You're watching Joy News today with me, Bernice Abu Baid. We'll take a quick break. We'll bring you more stories right after this. Thanks for staying here on Joy News today. Now, almost half of young people in Ghana are unemployed, with the formal sector only able to engage 2% of them. As a result, 98% are unemployed. To solve this, a UK-based NGO called Christian Aid, in collaboration with other partners, have launched a 3-year project called Growing Economic Opportunities for Sustainable Development to create opportunities for young people by training them. N.S. Otter is Programs Director of Christian Aid.
We already conducted inception meetings with all the partners and in all the districts that we would be working in. I think quite a number of useful feedback and experiences have come up that are going to be used to refine a couple of approaches in moving forward. We've also had an inception meeting with all the project partners and collaborating agencies to look at the project itself, to forge a clear plan forward and to build strong partnerships, as well as also to educate ourselves on the contractual obligations that we jointly share, but also to ensure that we're moving in a united direction. We have the national launch today, but also integrating into it a strong baseline and needs assessment. We want this project to be responsive to the needs and to the issues on the ground. And so we've already launched that process where we're going to work with especially the beneficiaries and the targeted people again to validate and to confirm that indeed the areas that the trade areas and the training areas are the areas that would work and also be useful as well as impactful. We are also quite engaged in partnership building with a number of organizations who are doing similar activities, or with the state institutions who have also the mandate to do that. And so we are very grateful for the presence of the Minister, the Deputy Minister for Employment and Labor Relations, because we'll be working quite strongly with the ministry. In terms of results, the first result that we hope to achieve is that through this project, economic opportunities for young people in the informal sector will be enhanced. And so this will be done through partnerships for provision of businesses. And so
away from that, he was referred to as powerful during his service days as a police officer. He acknowledges his belief in spiritual powers, known in local parlance as juju, had fortified him against all odds. Even his enlistment into the police service, according to him, was influenced by his spiritual powers at the time. However, in his line of duty, Prince Yaya Winen was later convicted and imprisoned for murder. His world for a moment appeared to have come to an end, but after 16 years behind bars, he is back a free man. John News' Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin visited Prince at his residence and reports he is now an evangelist and engages in livestock business.
In 1985, he was convicted and sentenced to death for murder after a suspect he and another colleague had been ordered to arrest died in a struggle. Looking at him now, there is nothing to suggest Prince is an ex-prisoner who had served 16 years at the Nsawam medium prisons. What surprises many close observers is the fact the ex-convict served as a police officer for 2 years before he was hauled into prison. In 2001, he was declared as a free man. It is a bright day for Prince here at his new residence after the horrible experience of prison life. He wants to put all that behind him and be remembered more of what he is doing now than he did in the past. And here is Prince's farm he has been managing for the past years.
I mean, you have separated them houses, so you can
Prince's father was also a known powerful police officer who could do many things at a time.
Remember, my father is a very strong man. He know where Vatakari Fugu, Vatakari, and there's talisman embodied in his dress. My father, I knew he was very powerful. Man, he has a walking stick. There's a knife inside. If he has a problem with you, he should point at you and you hold it, you draw it, it will tear your hands. Very strong man. So I believe my father that
nobody... You can say he was, I mean, somehow a traditionalist.
That is how I believe, because he liked those powers.
Okay. On a day he described as black, he claims someone threatened his father and eventually crippled him with sickness that killed him later.
When my father had a problem with a sergeant, then the man warned my father that you, Yakuba, will show you. My father trusted himself that the man cannot harm him. Before we realized, my father got paralyzed. They brought somebody from the Transvoter Togoland to come and kill Mama. When the man goes to the bush and comes with herb, he removes certain things from my father's body, things from the rivers. It's something like the crab that, I don't know how to tell it, that the snails, the shells, he removed from my father's body. My father really suffered. Then one day, I was at my father's bed when he died.
Fear gripped Prince following his father's alleged ordeal, so he also resorted to black power from different spiritual men to fortify himself.
And I knew that somebody killed him, so I have to fortify myself. I've gone to take the meaning, but I don't tell people. You will never know it. Somebody gave me a power. That power then the man gave to me. When a snake bites me, it will die on the spot. When I cross a snake, it will die. And another person, a hunter at one village, gave me a medicine for women.
After his ordinary level education, he was eager to enlist into the police service, but feared he might not pass through the process. The only way out for him was to fall on another spiritual powerful person to ensure he sailed through.
I told him I want to join the armed forces. So I said I need some powers to enter there. So he gave me 12 midnight to meet at a particular cemetery. So I was there 11:45. When the man came, he was having a pot. They put this inside, herbs. Then he motioned me that we should enter. He was having a cutlass. When we entered into the cemetery, he cut a tree. You know, when you cut a tree was going this way. You see some branches, you can put something in between. Then the man cut the tree. He was speaking. He left the tree suspended in the air. I know that guy, that is the correct man. He was really recommended for me. So he asked me to undress. I removed all my dress and put at one side. Then he started to incantation. Then he put the pot on top of the tree.
Quite an interesting story that the full feature airs tomorrow on the AM show. Do make a date. The AM show starts from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Now let's shift our attention and talk about babies and mothers dying at a facility that should rather ensure they live. I'm talking about the Dawn News special assignment on how so many babies and mothers are dying at the maternity block of the Comfort Naughty Teaching Hospital as a result of congestion at the facility. On the average, 4 babies die daily there, while over 100 women lose their lives on delivery beds annually. Well, First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo has joined the campaign to change the situation. A fundraising event coming off today at 5 p.m. will take place at the First Lady's office. First, let's hear the First Lady on this campaign.
I'm told by the engineers that it would cost about 10 million cedis to put the one-story building up. And so I implore and plead with all Ghanaians who would want to help to come out and help us raise the funds or bring whatever they have to help the situation. We cannot allow this to go on. And so please, please, please come and help with whatever you have. Kichwa bien soit. And so that we can, as soon as possible, solve this problem. Kumasi is a city. It's not like it's some village somewhere, and it's really appalling what is going on in a city in Ghana. And we really need to do something as soon as possible about this.
Director of the Accra Regional Health Directorate, Linda Van Otu, giving you reason to support this campaign.
Probably you haven't seen a baby die. Probably you haven't seen a pregnant woman die. But if you should see a woman who was pregnant, she's not sick. She's just going to give life and she loses her own life. That is something that you cannot watch. And if you see a father or a mother who loses a baby after 9 months of pregnancy, that is another thing that you cannot stand. They never forget. It never goes away. So my plea is that everyone, even if it's 1 CD that you have, if you have 10 million people giving 1 CD, and Ghana we are more than 10 million, If everybody gives 1 cedi, if every mother gives their child, take these 10 cedis, go and donate, go and contribute towards this, I believe that will be helpful. So no matter how small it is, save the life of a mother, save the life of a baby.
That was Linda Vanuatu speaking to my colleague Mama Viowutu Abaji earlier on the AM show. The program will be launched at 5 p.m. today at the office of the First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo, to be streamed live here on Joy News and also on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, away from that, the Water Research Institute at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, is urging government to initiate steps to legalize illegal mining and small-scale mining, popularly known as Galamsey. This call comes at a time when pressure is mounting on government to end all forms of illegal mining. Speaking at a media encounter on Galamsey organized by the International Association for Impact Assessment, Director of the Water Research Institute, Professor Osmond Asari, said legalizing the act will enable government to undertake effective monitoring as well as provide assistance to ensure that the appropriate technology is used. Let's go live now to my colleague Joseph Akable, who is at the event. Hello, Joseph. What else has been coming out of this meeting?
Well, so Ben, is essentially there have been 2 presentations so far, and as I speak to you now, there is a bit of an open forum where other participants in this particular endeavor, they have been allowed to offer their views now. But let's quickly pick the thoughts of Professor Chris Gordon. He is with the University of Ghana's Institute for Environmental and Sanitation Studies. They have pick their own thoughts on the entire fight against Galamsey. Prof, welcome to Joy News.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
Prof, first and foremost, from the angle of Institute, what do you make of the Galamsey and the fight against it?
Well, we have been talking about this issue for more than 20 years, and we have seen it develop. We've seen our water bodies get worse and worse. We've seen the land being degraded, and through the research works that we have had, we have managed to document quite a lot of this. So we are very much aware of the problem. We're very much committed to supporting the media in their initiative by providing some evidence based on research on how to solve the problem.
Listening to the CSIR, the impression I get is that it appears it is actually causing so much harm to our environment in terms of the water bodies at your own end. Has that also caught your attention?
Yes, very, very much so. In fact, my own particular area is freshwater zoology, limnology, that is the study of lakes and wetlands. So I personally have been monitoring this, and I see the damage, the huge damage that is taking place. Our comment was made during the discussions about for anything practically you need water. And what comes to my mind immediately is the government's desire to have one factory in each district. I think it is very laudable that we are looking at employment in such a way, but if we are going to need water for this to become a reality, and our water body will be so polluted, it's going to hamper the possible activities of government and the districts rolling out such a scheme. So the same mess actually impacts every aspect of our lives, and unfortunately, the impact is usually very negative.
Prof, going forward, how do we get our way around it? Here, the Water Research Institute make the point that it's high time we take a look at perhaps legalizing Galamsey. It's a big debate about whether we put the horse before the cat or the cat before the horse. What, in your opinion, is the way forward?
Well, the way is to proper options. We all agree that what we are doing right now is not sustainable. We all agree that the way we pushed it to date has not given us much benefit. In fact, it was Einstein who said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if we are going to deal with the Galamsey menace and the problems associated with it in a holistic way, looking at reclamation of degraded lands, restoration of the environment, looking at employment for those who are currently engaged in it, looking at economic returns to the landowners. We have to look at it in a holistic, comprehensive, and concerted fashion. Now, towards that end, the University of Ghana has set up.
Thank you very much, Joseph Akable. We seem to be having some challenge with that feed over there, but that's my colleague, Joseph Akable, speaking to Professor Chris Gordon, who is the director of the Institute of Environmental and Sanitation Studies at the University of Ghana, speaking on the issue of Galamsey and the fight against it. You're watching Joy News today with me, Benis Abubedo.